welcome back. For those of you that support me on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. If you're interested in supporting the channel in that way, you can go to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist and choose a subscription level. Over there, you get the daily forecast a day early. There's also available readings that are only available over on the Patreon page, depending on the subscription level that you choose. This is the February of 2021 reading for the sign of Leo. So this is the energies that will be affecting Leo, ideally. If you have a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Leo, you may want to watch this to see what kind of February you could be having. If you have heavily placed planets in Leo, I would consider 3 or more planets heavily placed in one sign. That includes the smaller planets like Ceres, Lilith, Chiron, all of that. So if you have, that showing up in 3 different areas in Leo, or 3 or more, then you may want to watch this because it will have some sort of an effect on your February. These readings are sort of broad spectrum, so they're intended to reach a lot of different people with a lot of different Leo placements. So you have to kind of take what you need and leave the rest. Also, if things don't make sense or don't sound like your life, that's completely fine. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or that you're doing anything wrong. It could mean that it could be about the other planets having a bigger effect at this time for you, or it could be, the house placement. All of those things affect kind of how these energies are going to come through and where they're going to work. So keeping that in mind, don't worry or fret if things don't feel like they connect with you. Now, if things do connect, or it does feel like, oh, wow, what he's saying makes sense in this area of my life, always know that whatever decisions you make after having watched my videos in your personal life are solely your responsibility. So keeping that in mind, always use your own highest intelligence and intuition when making your decisions in your personal life, and never take anything that I say over that of a professional in their field, right? Like, so a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, if they're giving you advice or counsel, always take what they say first and foremost. Use your own intuition, your own intelligence first and foremost. So let's get in and see what's going on with the sign of Leo. The signifier card for the month is going to come out of the Mystical Shaman deck by Colette Baron Reed. It's a Mystical Shaman Oracle, I should say. So we'll see what Leo needs to know. This could be sort of something we need to reflect upon, focus on. It can also be something that we might need to be aware of. It will tell us kind of, what could be going on in the month of February for Leo. Well, that didn't work. One more shuffle. I'm sorry. That was like a lame cut. I need more definitive answers for Leo. There we go. All right. Let's see what Leo's card is. Excuse me. I just had a bit of a allergic reaction right before getting on. Ooh, the Seer. Card number 45, which would be a 9. Numerologically, 9s offer up like personal completion. They're usually pretty beneficial. I like that. There should be a feeling of self-satisfaction. I kind of feel like with this card, Leo might have the ability to connect to the other realms, right? To sort of maybe be more in touch with their, their spirit or their subconscious. You might be able to kind of perceive things that maybe aren't there, or see sort of into the future, get a notion about maybe how somebody might act or react. To me, this feels like one thing worth noting is that the next full moon is in the sign of Leo. So that's kind of cool too. At the end of this month, or towards the end of this month, we'll be seeing it on the 28th of January. So getting ready to head into February. So that's kind of a powerful thing too. That may connect us to a little bit of this seer energy for the month of February, where we're feeling like empowered, where we're feeling strong, where we feel like we're knowing. Does that make sense? It's more about sort of trusting our internal intuitions, our internal messages, that sort of a thing, and really trusting it and owning it from that place. So I like this as your guys' card. Let's see. You might be able to find solutions to problems that others maybe can't see or come to. So let's see what the cards have to say. Now, this middle card is where you're centered at. It tells me a bit about where the Leos are going to be operating from throughout the month of February. So you'll go in and out of this card all throughout the month, but it gives me insight into kind of what the overall view of the month will be and what you could potentially be creating for the future. So let's see what's going on. I love it. We have the Ace of Swords. So this seer energy to me is about sort of clarity, right? But it feels more like a subconscious clarity or more of a spiritual clarity, right? Where we're like maybe communing with the other side, with our spirit guides, with our own higher self, but it has this ability to see. I love that it's coupled with this energy or this card, which is the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is air element, right? Which feeds fire, which is Leo's home element. So this is a complementary element. But what I like about it is there's a strength of purpose in this number one, right? When we look at this image, we have this sword standing straight up, which to me, it feels like the focus is on you, how you see things, how you perceive things, Leo. We want to do that from a state of clarity, from a state of strength, from a state of, ideally a celebration, thinking outside of the box. That could also be represented in this Ace of Swords, because aces tend to represent, sorry, my hands are cold. Aces tend to represent as new beginnings or unexpected opportunities that crop up. This being your center, I feel like Leo's going to be able to see things through a different light or make assessments, decisions with a newfound clarity or a newfound sense of purpose. I also love that crown around the top of the sword. To me, it kind of fits perfectly with Leonine energy of being the king of the jungle, right? We get to honor ourselves this month with our truth and acting on that truth. And that truth may be only true for us. That's the depth of the seer, and that's the one in the Ace of Swords. So if other people challenge us or whatever, hold tight to that truth or that reality for yourself and allow that to kind of move you through the month of February, right? So I like this so far. Let's see what's coming next. The next card is the Foundation. This is what's beneath you or below you. It signifies a period of time from the past, and it's sort of like what opened the door for the cards to become the way that they are today, right? So also when we look at this position, we want to keep in mind that the memory of this time from our past could ultimately be either pushing us in the now, right? The memory of it, or it can be holding everything in place. We want to be aware of that. So this is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is kind of like the liar, cheater, stealer card. It usually means that somebody's not being honest in a situation. With this as the Foundation, I don't necessarily love this as a Foundation card, and I'll explain it to you in a little bit. But what I do feel like is either there might have been a truth that has come out, or there could be a truth that comes out for the Leos in the month of February. I have a feeling you may discover said truth. That is the Seer card. There might be somebody that's being dishonest with you, or we could be being dishonest with someone else, but I kind of get more of a feeling that this is about it's happening to you or it's happened to you. This is something from the past, right? Where we're talking about this Seven of Swords. To me, it feels like something in the past where someone has either been dishonest with you, not forthright, not upfront, not completely transparent. It has it could come to clarity this month. That would be this Ace of Swords and the Seer card. Or we could be in another situation where we're trying to avoid this kind of behavior or this kind of situation happening to us again. Does that make sense? So in other words, we were lied to in the past. We learned about that lie or removed ourselves from that situation. And now we're trying to keep our clarity and keep our sort of area clear of that sort of behavior or betrayal, that sort of thing. Does that make sense? I know that sounds a little bit intense, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to experience betrayal. How do I want to say this? The Ace of Swords to me feels very strong, and the Seer card also feels very strong. That Seer card being number 45 and being a 9 speaks to the idea of being personal completions with sort of situations, right? We might find ourselves cutting free of situations where we feel as though we've been lied to or denied or not been told the truth, where we've been taken advantage of. Those sort of things could be on the forefront, or we could be dealing with those things and looking at them with a clearer perspective, ideally, and willing to sort of make those changes moving forward. Those changes will be for our benefit. Okay, so let's see what the spirit or higher self card is saying to us. This is what your spirit or soul wants you to work on in the month of February. So this is Temperance. I love this because this card is Sagittarian energy, right? So again, we've got that fire energy. We've got swords and swords, which is air, which feeds fire, which is complementary. And then we have fire in the Temperance card. Although Temperance is about maintaining balance, taking things a little bit easy, retaining peace, keeping calm, trusting our intuition or our true self, right? Seeing into like situations in ways that we maybe haven't always been able to. That also is the newness of the Ace of Swords, remaining analytical and practical, keeping a cool head this month. Temperance to me says that our spirit is really trying to reach out to us and maintain that cool, calm veneer, maybe doing the right things, not doing the right things for the right reasons, but like kind of, how do I want to say this? Like maintaining our own clarity in an attempt to move ourselves through situations that otherwise could produce volatility within us. That's also the Seven of Swords below, right? There might have been areas in our past where we were, lied to, and it created reactions out of us that were beneath us or that were not our best behavior. And so to me, I feel like this Temperance card is asking us, our spirit is asking us to rise up to a state of calm, peace, balance, connection to ourselves, and just kind of really working on that connection this month to maintain the gifts that brings, right? There is a lot of sort of new growth, spiritual connection. That rainbow makes me feel like there's even a little bit of magic happening at the spiritual level for Leo if they allow it, right? So work with your spirit, especially with that being major arcana up there. There's like some sort of gift in there about like, let me say this. If you feel like you've been harried or been worked over a little bit in situations or by people in the past, allow yourself to stand on your own 2 feet. I'm not saying that you don't, Leo, but I'm saying like really rely upon yourself this month and maintain that peace and that connection to self. That's going to be really sort of where your power is at, is my feeling. All right, the next 2 cards are what I call the outside influences. These are people, sometimes events, that are having an effect on us either positively or negatively throughout the month of February. They can be sometimes things more vague, like belief systems or energies that are having an effect. Let's see what those are. Oh, beautiful. So this is your card. This is the Sun card. This is the sign of Leo. So this is major arcana. This is highly affirmative energy. With this sitting outside, it feels like things should be lining up in a way that you understand, that you can best exploit. And I mean exploit in a good way, because this is Leo's card. I feel like ideally things want to add up, or things want to work in our favor. Whatever it is that we want to pursue, I do feel like there might be a truth that comes to light for some of you in the month of February, only because we have that clarity of that Ace of Swords and the Seer card, plus the sun shining its rays may cast a light on situations where we have been lied to, not told the truth, cheated in some way, shape, or form. We might have to see that or revisit that again. Because that Seven of Swords sits in the foundation, which is sort of weird to me. Not that it's bad, it just sort of feels like I can't quite get a full hit on whether or not this is something that you're aware of as of yet, or you're going to figure it out this February, sometime during this February. But ultimately, with that sun there, whatever it sheds light on will enlighten you, will create clarity for you with that Ace of Swords, and will also allow you to sort of make the decisions that you need to move forward, regardless of what the ramifications or the decisions of the situation are, if that makes sense, right? I do feel like this should be overall, as far as an outside influence, this should be very much in line with who you are. So keep an idea or an open eye for opportunities that really speak to you, right? And understand that you're going to probably naturally know how to navigate them with the Seer card and the Ace of Swords there. I feel like there is a clarity and a truth or a decision-making, a focus on the self, and a peace in that Temperance card that allows you to be guided through the benefits that come in February, right? Let's see what the other outside is. Oh, wow. Ace of Cups. So this is a beautiful card. This is water energy. This is about new beginnings too. We have two aces going on for you guys this month. So one is on the outside and one is on the inside. The clarity of purpose, the sense of celebration, all of that is there in that Ace of Swords. We certainly see it in the emotional stuff that's happening with the Ace of Cups. I would look for opportunities to feel connected to others, to feel maybe reconnected with those that we love. I would look, and I also feel that is kind of working with the Sun card too. There's that warmth that the Sun provides that makes me feel like, oh, this could be a really like kind of, what's the word? Like, I don't even think pleasantly does it enough justice, but this could be a pleasantly wonderful, like sort of warm emotional month for you guys where you might find yourself reconnecting. The Ace of Cups could indicate maybe new opportunities for love for some of you, if those of you are seeking it. It could be out there. I don't get that this is a super romance reading, though. You know, there would be other cards up here that would make me feel if this was geared towards romance, but for some of you that might be looking for romance, it could be out there for you, certainly with that Sun card there and the Ace of Cups. I feel like that Sun will not only intensify whatever comes your way, Leo, it also sort of like almost adds power to that Ace of Cups. So anything that you're going to be feeling emotionally, I feel like it's going to be positive, maybe even a little bit extra positive because it's being powered by the energy of that Sun. So I would say with these two as the outside influences, expect really positive results in February. Expect to feel connected to whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're pursuing, whatever it is you're focusing on. Expect to be clear in mind and sort of driven in purpose. That would be the Ace of Swords. Expect to be able to also see clearly what it is that you think you need, like not right now in the present moment, but also heading out into the future. That would be the Seer card, the like sort of wisdom, the awareness, the self sort of awareness that is required in that Seer card to sort of be able to have that clarity. And that Temperance card up in the spirit space says, connect in with our spirit too, because that's also what's the beauty of that Temperance card and the peace that's in that Major Arcana card up above in the spirit space says to me, when we connect to that, it also like intensifies the clarity of the Ace of Swords, and it allows us to better like reap the benefits of the Ace of Cups and the Sun energies that are wanting to come in and benefit us this month. The only thing that I think is odd, the one card that feels like odd man out, is that Seven of Swords in the Foundation. I don't know why that's sitting there. Like, to me, it feels like a Band-Aid or something. Like, it just doesn't seem to fit with the rest of the cards. But I had the same experience with the previous fire sign. I did Aries, and it just didn't, like this card, the guide card, just didn't seem to connect with the rest of the reading. To me, it feels like this card is not connecting with the rest. Like, I don't understand how situations of the past, however like annoying or upsetting they may have been, where they key into the beauty that I see going on up above you and around you this month. So keep that in mind as you move forward. If there's anything that comes in from the past through the ideas of, you know, betrayal or lying or that sort of thing, don't let it bother you. Don't even give it too much attention. That would be my feeling, because the Sun and the Ace of Cups want you to experience something way better this month. It's not worth wasting your time, is kind of how I'm seeing it. That's also the clarity we see in that Ace of Swords in the center. Like, remain clear, remain geared and focused towards new beginnings and those opportunities that those bring. Now, the next card is what I call the potential outcomes card. This card tells me a bit about sort of where things are naturally progressing, barring that nothing major changes. Excuse me one second. All right. This card is not set in stone. It gives me insight into sort of where things are going. But if this is a negative card, we can utilize it as a warning and make choices and changes in our life to affect the outcome, right? But if it is something that we like or that we want to see have happen, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally progressing towards this, and we can just sort of let things unfold throughout the month of February. So let's see where we end out in February. Oh, okay. I'll take it. High Priestess. So major arcana, to me, there's quite a bit of major arcana happening. You have Temperance here, you have the Sun here, and you end on the High Priestess. So out of a total of 6 cards on that board, 3 of our High Priestess. This to me is a significant month. Not only significant spiritually, because we see that Temperance card up in the spirit space, but we also end on a very spiritual card. High Priestess is associated with the symbol of Pisces, right? She's also associated with spiritual wisdom and depth. We see that reflected here in the Seer card. I think that whatever is going on for my Leos, as long as we're attaching or connecting to that higher self, that temperance that we see up in the spirit space, it's going to bring about a awareness or a connection to sort of the things that are going on around us that are very positive, right? It's going to bring us to the state of the High Priestess, where I feel like she has a more intrinsic wisdom about who she is, how she creates. This could be like what Leo's learning this month. You might be able to sort of take some of this knowledge with you into March and continue this positive progression of whatever it is that you're working on. The High Priestess can signify or indicate sort of secrets or not being told everything, and that also keys in a little bit to that 7 of Swords in the foundation. So that's where I'm starting to think that maybe indeed some secrets could be revealed. These could be not only secrets outside of ourselves in the forms of lies or betrayals, but it could be secrets that we're learning about ourselves from within too. That would also indicate in the High Priestess and the Seer card. So keep an eye out for those sort of things. Ultimately, I do feel like the High Priestess is a beneficial card for my Leos. And I like that we have that Ace of Cups energy on one side, which would be water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And then we have the Sun on the other side as the outside influences. And then the end out is the High Priestess, which to me is that Pisces energy too. So it's kind of like we gain some sort of internal knowledge or wisdom, be it maybe around a situation, a person, how we create, what it is that we do that empowers us. It's just, to me though, I feel like the High Priestess feels very, and so does the Seer card, they feel very much in line with one another. Like this feels like the masculine version of the feminine version of the High Priestess, right? So I feel like we should prepare ourselves to learn some things this month about how we, I'm not sure, like connect in, see things, view things from a state of like spiritual power or awareness that is going to benefit us in some way. That's sort of there's like this definite link between this card and that card. So everything that we do to this month, all the benefits that we reap, all of the joy that we kind of expose ourselves to or bring in, and that peace that we see in that Temperance card, that sort of communion that we have, that balance that we keep within our lives, where we connect to that spiritual side of ourselves, is going to teach us some really important things about our spiritual connection to our deeper self. I hope that makes sense, Leo. That is your forecast for the month of February. I hope you guys have a wonderful February. Please feel free to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment if you feel so inclined. Let me know how your February goes. If some really beneficial things happen, please let me know, because I do think that you guys should have a really beautiful set of influences this month with that Ace of Cups and that Sun. I mean, it's definitely in line with your guys' energy. So utilize it. And the Ace of Swords says you guys will be definitive, truthful, honest, forthright in going after it this month. So do it, Leo. All right, you guys deserve it. All right, have a wonderful February, and I will see you guys next month. All right, take care. Bye-bye.